going to anyway. Carrie, are we overworking you? I mean, is this a job that somebody else should be doing, or are you okay with this with the stipend? I'm just asking. And I hate to put you on the spot.
No, I think that's an inappropriate question.
Yeah, it may be. It may be. That's why I said I wasn't sure.
I appreciate the preface that you gave to the question.
Yeah, correct.
But I don't think she should be made to answer.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
You don't have to answer it.
I think she's too much of a professional.
Right,
to
exactly.
say anything like that.
Well, I was just concerned for her workload.
I understand. Yeah, I understand.
That was it.
Absolutely.
So I think-
Thanks, Brian.
I think probably it's
It's a fair. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, it just should be noted that, trying to be fair,
Yeah.
and if you look at all the districts,
Yeah.
and, what's being spread around, we're still kind of on the low end there. And I think, there should be consideration for that, for being fair, what's comparable within the Commonwealth.
So I'm hard pressed to have a problem with this, but somebody changed my mind.
Dr. Bell, you said like this is low compared to like last year. Can you share?
Last year's stipend was 5,000.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't understand how that changed or why it would have gotten changed.
Because it
Based on
was
experience.
included in the individual's salary.
They rolled it in probably for tax purposes, because you probably need to get taxed.
The one thing that happens when you roll it into a salary is, remember, you have to vote every 4 years. So if you do not select that person as your board secretary, then you're going to decrease their salary, which is very hard to be able to do, unless you let that in their salary and just forget about it. So a stipend, and again, this earmark is a 4-year earmark. You have to do it every May by code. And in the last case, it was in the salary. So when the individual received a raise annually, that dollar amount raised annually. The stipend does not raise annually. It stays the same. So what you were doing in the past was a larger amount of money, and you actually had it in the salary, so they were receiving an annual raise. This is lower salary, lower stipend, and it mean it would stay the same, unless you choose to increase it on your own. It wouldn't be as it's been done in the past.
So it's my impression that if we don't do anything, it dies at the end of the 4 years, correct? But we can have a policy placed where it's under the stipend, so that at the end of 4 years, it stays that until someone raises or lowers it again, correct?
Yes.
So, once we finish this discussion, we'll have another discussion. So currently, we can discuss where we want to put them out for the thing. So, where does everybody want to leave the stipend?
I'll go with their range.
4460,
Yeah, can we
4700.
can we make it 45 just because it's
Yeah,
an easy number?
I can just make it around even.
Say 5. Okay.
I was trying to be, 5 is where I would go, but I'm trying to at least be a little bit.
I said, I don't know why we didn't round it to 5. I didn't mean.
Well, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay. 5?
Just like Don said, it's decrease.
Yeah, but she had
I'm with you guys,
experience.
remember? I mean, so,
Yes, you are.
500 under.
Sorry, Gary, nothing personal, mind you. To that position. So shall we put down on the notes for the increase to go to $5,000?
I think we should stay where it is. Yes, 5,000.
Well,
yeah, because it would be a
be
decrease
careful,
if we
stay
go
where
to
it is.
4,460.
Stay where it is, it's not 5,000. Stay where it is 2,500.
Okay.
So we're increasing it from 2,500 to 5,000. Okay. Are we in an agreement of that as far as the discussion for tonight, what to put on the note to be voted on for next meeting?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Now, my suggestion is CC&P, which were 1, 2, whatever. You need to go back to your committee and put a stipend in the policies under that the secretary's stipend is $5,000 per year and can be same thing where the salary is whatever somebody puts it at. So they could say, board secretary, guess what you're making $1? Huh? Yeah, so. Is that okay with everybody? I mean, correct me if does anybody have a problem with me asking them to do that? Okay. Annual investment plan, let's see. I hope you all had a look at that. That is a great little thing. Approval of the CBA MOU agreement, the recalculation, anybody have problems with that? Everybody understand it? Okay. Parent transportation contract, does anybody have any questions on that?
I do.
Okay. Do you want me to just tell you what it is?
Explain it, please.
Sure. Time to time, Carolyn, correct me if I'm wrong, it is in the best interest of the school district to have a parent transport a child that would probably have some form of special needs, thank you for the proper terms, and it makes life a lot easier. So sometimes it's transportation to and from the house to here, to and from here to Chambersburg. Was that the one we had, or out in Franklin County?
Yes, to
Yeah.
and from Chambersburg.
Yeah, so it's just in the best interest of the student that we let the parent do it instead of trying to get someone that's not fully knowledgeable of the situation and that they have a good score.
And who determined the amount?
The amount is just a straight IRS number, whatever it is. Whatever the state raises or the federal government raises it.
So it's just mileage basis?
Yes, they just get mileage reimbursement.
Okay.
And they have to submit
Okay.
paperwork.
I just wanted to, I wondered why we're paying parents to drive their kids to school.
Yeah. In some of the cases I've had the pleasure of seeing, more power to the parent.
Well, so that's just transporting from home to on campus here, not to an external place.
No, this student attends school here.
Okay. And
We have time to time had them go other places. So you may see another one if something
That's
comes up.
student at Franklin Learning Center.
Yes, that's what I was
That it
thinking.
was best for the parent to transport.
Yes.
To and from, every day.
yes, so aren't they able to, isn't any parent able to transport their child from home to the district?
We go through a process. It's not our first option. Depending on the needs of the child and what's best for the child, it's usually an IEP team meeting. It's not my decision. It takes a team to make a decision.
Okay, I think he's saying any parent can bring their child to school. Yes, any parent can bring their child to school, but.
Oh, we don't get paid to
No,
do
we
it.
don't get paid, you don't get paid to do it just because you choose that option. You have to have, there has to be a reason, like the child is
But this student would
disrupted
have,
or.
this student would, we would provide transportation for this student because of the special need, the special van.
But then the parent would come in if it's beneficial for the student in extenuating circumstances, that you would feel it's better to have the parent do it that way. So it's kind of above and beyond solution provider.
And my guess is that this is probably a more cost-effective way than getting another form of transportation for them.
Okay, recommend approval of the Boylston disposal. Anybody have any issues with that? Anybody have any questions with the protected agreement? Oh, and the high school book, sorry. I didn't see that.
So the unprotected agreement,
Yes,
why are we getting these substitutes and careers?
it's a substitute for the, in case the original one can't show up, just like we have substitutes for teachers.
So we're not actually getting this person, it's just a
Until they,
standby.
until they call out sick, yeah.
Thanks for explaining.
No problem. No problem, Lucy. Okay, yes.
Quick question on that. Dr. Naylor, is that significantly, is the price point about on par with the current provider that we use for our full-time person?
I'm not sure whether it's on par
if you took the hourly rate of the current one,
Well, I believe so, if you took the hourly rate, yes.
All things considered, yeah. It just, when firm's not there, the other firm is, and all the contracts are in place to do their contractual duty. So it's,
This is my recommendation to the board to consider for substitute security services.
So they actually would be substituting for G-Force, or we don't have
yes.
G-Force?
No, the G-Force. I mean, the G-Force, and in a minute, we'll take care of the other parts.
They would be substituting for our security officer who is on the agenda to be approved next week. G-Force as a security officer on campus, if that security officer would have to be sick, they would make an attempt, as per their contract, to support a substitute. There's no guarantee.
And the same as our guys out, these guys would make an attempt to.
Very similar to Kelly Ed. If Kelly Ed has a substitute to fill a teaching position, they'll deploy a substitute. I'm sure it's going to work the same way.
Mayor, I have a question. Reading through the contract, if M Protective has to fill in for extracurricular activities, aren't they twice the rate of G-Force at this point?
If you elect to contract substitute services for an extracurricular event, they have their rate for their substitute on-call services. And that might be different than what Shelley Young contracts with G-Force for extracurricular and athletic events. Shelley negotiates those contracts for those events with G-Force for extracurricular security. I don't get involved in that, so I'm not
I was
sure what
asking
that,
that.
I'm not sure what that hourly event rate would be.
they could be just as expensive too.
It should.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is, to be honest with you.
Because if athletics are unarmed, people from G-Force.
Yeah.
Except for John.
Well, that's a separate contract.
Yeah, John was, I don't think John was at the game, was he?
Yes. Yes, it was.
Not at every event.
Over a basketball game I went to, he was there.
5 home games, 5 home football games in my safety contract with G-Force, just to be clear on that. And then if there was an extra need, let's say basketball or something to that regards, then I know John will be contracted, let's say, for those specific events.
Contract doesn't say condo.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you, moving on. Facility requests, I'm assuming nobody has any questions with that. Did anybody have any problem with payment of invoices, needs explaining, or someone get back in touch with them prior to the meeting so they're better informed?
I have a couple questions, Carl, not to interrupt you.
Nope, get them straight to Tom, and
Yeah,
so that he
Tom.
gets you the right answers.
32,100 to elevate mine for PCCD safety and security, what is that?
That is to, yes, those is the behavior specialist underneath, cognitive health. That's their branch right here.
Oh, cool, okay.
They branched off, and that's just their new name underneath their secondary branch.
Oh, I see, okay. That's the elevate mine, okay. It's a new branch.
Yep.
I didn't recognize it, is why I asked, sorry, I didn't have your question, because I'm like, who is this? You know, so thank you. Appreciate it. On the project checks, while you're talking to you, what equipment was 9,573.68 to HP McClure?
That I'd have to get back to you.
Okay.
So back to the full board.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you, Carl.
Any other questions?
I have one quick one.
One second. Yep, go ahead.
Can you tell me why we lease the Chromebooks and the iPads
saying, we then sell them if they're in good enough condition to a resell. So we'll be getting a check here in another couple of weeks. Takes a little time to inventory the devices and everything, but then we'll be reimbursed for those devices we collected from the streets at the end of the year. But it's a lease to own.
I just happened to see lease on there, wondered why, okay, but that's a good explanation.
It's like a 3 year.
Any other questions? Okay. All right, I think I'm just gonna. Anybody have any problem with the job descriptions? Okay. Documents, we're gonna talk about the organizational chart. The same question that we had in the meeting popped up as you heard earlier.
Sure.
So why don't you explain so that it's, works out better?
Sure. As we went through the organizational chart, we tried to make sure that it was as streamlined as possible and made as much sense as possible. In previous experiences that I've had, we've had nurses typically have 2 bosses that they speak with. One is the principal of the building because they have to do daily operations, but the second one is typically the assistant superintendent. So as you see in that branch, each nurse would still have 2 bosses. They're going to have a boss with the building principal, who will be there, operate, manage day to day, but they'll also have an assistant superintendent that'll help manage the overall, make sure that globally things are taken care of as needed.
So it's not up the ladder like it looks, they're just listed there because that's easier to list things out for us.
Correct. That top of the chain in every order has the ability to manage and do for everyone that's below that person.
Does anybody else have any questions for that organizational chart?
Yeah, I do. If that's what we don't mind. I noticed, and this might just be graphics, so please excuse me for asking the question.
Sure.
But I noticed that it said superintendent, and then over to the right it said school board. I always thought the school board should have been above the superintendent, and then when going down, I mean, that may be graphics, I'm not sure.
Sure. When we built this and put this together, and actually when I spoke with Dr. Berryman, when I looked at other organizational charts, the superintendent is really that 10th member of the board that's a non-voting member.
Okay.
So all together as a committee, work together to build policy and make sure that our students are successful. So in that fact, what I wanted to do was make sure that I brought attention to that fact in this organizational chart where it lacked previously.
Okay, that's all. I just
Sure.
asked it, thank you.
All right. Staff resignations, anybody have any problems with that? Hirings, Carrie, all those still going through? Staff transfers, anybody have any problems there? New teacher mentors, any problems there? Event workers, volunteers?
Volunteers, yeah. I'd like to reiterate the board again. I see my name's not on here. At the last meeting, I believe I asked if we put back on here in consideration to volunteer, and I'm going to ask again. I did pass all the background checks and the DB test. I would like to be a volunteer in basketball starting up, and help. So I'm just, want to reiterate that.
For another advisement? I'm sure it's where it goes. Okay. Transportation contract, drivers, any issue? Overnight stays, nope. And then, anybody have any problem with leave of absence?
Yes.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, Carl, this is your pet peeve.
Yeah,
Why
I
are we
know.
back to
Well,
Is
in
it
both of these cases, they don't get any extra time anyway, if I remember correctly. So, it's my pet peeve, but they're not getting anything and they had no, so.
Thanks.
You bring in my little pet peeve, well, okay. Student teacher stipend.
Oh, leave without pay.
Any problems with that? No. Adams County Tech, do you want you want to speak now, or you want to wait until next meeting?
I think it'd be good to speak to.
Okay.
So, the ACTI, they have once a month, they have incredible, you can go to a lunch. And each month, they sponsor a different country, and so the wife and I went and had Greek food, and it was really, really good. And while we were there, I got to introduce myself to Jeremy Schaefer. He is the head chef in that program. And he explained to me some of the success stories of some of the students that have went through this program and now have actual operating businesses in Gettysburg, in Adams County, a bakery, I believe. And the kids, you know, they come out, they do the waiting, you know, the waitressing, the whole 9 yards. And they really did a good job. And so I was very impressed with that. And I think that, you know, we need to really support this organization and program.
Okay. Now, don't give them the impression it's free. Tell them it does cost.
Yes,
And
it
how
does
much
cost because there's a cost involved, but it was not much. It was $20.
And,
So
what time was it? It's a lunchtime, wasn't it?
it was lunchtime.
Where are you going for lunch for $20? So once a month, supportive.
And add to Steve's comment, I too attended a few of those last year, or last season, and it was $18, and it was great. Great service, great event, and it supported, at that time, they were going to the championship, so it supported that, but it supports the ACTI. It's a great program to go to, and a great meeting.
No, I didn't mean to neglect
Oh, you
you,
didn't.
but I was waiting for your portion anyway. I knew that was over there, so.
Yeah, it's fine. No new news.
Your
Nothing I
next
can
meeting
share,
is-
nothing I can share anyway.
Right.
But something will come out in a month or so. We're still looking for that piece of property. I think we've stopped thinking about location and we're just looking for something that will meet ACTI's needs. And so that's where they are. They are negotiating with teachers, but that's being held up by Gettysburg's contract negotiations. So you can see why it was advantageous of us of doing ours a little earlier, because ACTI is going to have a problem doing theirs until Gettysburg does theirs, and so it keeps getting pushed back, and we all know Gettysburg's having some trouble. So this might take a little while longer for both negotiations.
Brian, just a question on that. Is ACTI's tied in any way still to Gettysburg's teaching staff?
There's some question there. They won't be, but there's some problems. Some think that people, I don't want to get too far into the weeds here, that we lose people if the numbers aren't close to what Gettysburg gets. Okay, so one is waiting for the other, and so who knows, we might lose people or we might not. It depends on what Gettysburg gets. So hopefully ACTI will start soon. It's unknown yet. There's quite a few unknowns. Sorry, I can't give you any more information.
Yeah, it's kind of executive session.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
Okay. All right, that's good. Anybody have any other questions for anybody about ACTI? Okay. LIU, you all got your little thing, which I'll try to go highlight for. So do you have any questions for me to send back to? All right. Okay. Do I need to bring your spot up now, or you just want to wait? You're waiting.
No, I'll do my thank you.
And then we just had the reports in the monthly one.
I have a question on that, Carl, if you don't
Yep,
mind. Gary, I wasn't able to click on that. Is it going to be clickable?
Monthly enrollments.
Oh, yeah, it'll be, yeah, I thought you meant that.
Oh, I'm
Yes,
sorry.
It will be quick.
Oh,
The monthly enrollment, okay.
Thanks.
Okay, that takes care of that. Dr. Nail, do you have anything else you need to add? Piaski, since you're gonna be here till 2051?
Still sitting right there.
Carolyn? Carrie? Tom? Dwayne?
I'm good, thank you.
Steve?
Good.
Ms. Brenneman to the right?
Let's roll.
Let's Mr. Lovell? Mr. Lawyer?
No.
Ms. Russell, any questions, concerns, anything else? Ms. Brennan to the left?
I didn't say that.
I didn't see that. Tom, you have some questions from the far side?
I know you love it. Could you tell me when the Chartwell contract ends?
It ends June 30th this year, 25.
Would you like to be on the, to help out with that?
I am,
We have been in conversations.
yes. Quite frankly, the meals, summer meals, or I won't
Be
even call
careful,
them
be
a
careful,
meal.
be careful, be careful.
I can say, I brought the
Unless the-
menus with me. They're awful.
It's public knowledge.
I didn't say be careful. All right, any other questions?
No, just make sure I go on that meeting.
Yep, we'll send you an invite.
Thank you.
Mr. Miller, any questions, concerns? Dr. Mitchell? Dr. Berryman? The front row. Any questions from Mr. Good to see you again. All right,
Sorry.
yes, ma'am?
Real quick, something about the Chartwells, the food stuff. Is there any way that we can get, or maybe we do, I don't know, I heard we don't, like meals for the teachers that are decent?
What does that even mean?
Never had this question.
Together?
Pack a lunch.
You would have left till 2051.
I know, I just, that they can purchase, that it's not the same lunch as maybe the students. Is there a way to do that?
Currently, the only opportunity is here with the nieces,
Yeah.
because of the elementaries having different lunches than the middle school, high school.
Yeah, okay,
But we can look into expanding that.
okay.
And when the new high school, when the high school is complete, I
There'll be
think,
a lot of different options.
yeah, so
Yeah.
things might be better.
Yeah, okay.
But that's just for high school.
The high school, middle school.
The high school does.
Can elementary school teachers drive up there and get food?
They can.
The middle school teachers leave anywhere, the elementary school teachers leave
That
anywhere
30
to get
minutes is
lunch.
precious.
Monday sucks because they can't get Blue Bills. Okay. I need a motion to adjourn. So moved.
Seconded.
All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion adjourned. Don't forget, jerseys next Monday.
I'm so glad you came. I'm so glad you came.
Thank you.
Can I get your name? I couldn't hear. Sure. It's Donna. Donna. D-O.